Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 51 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I promised you guys a world download this episode and I should be delivering, but I've got a lot of work to do. I did work a little bit between last episode and this one and came up with a solution to a little bit of a solution to one of my problems, which was the backstuffing. Basically, things were popping out here because these machines just weren't moving fast enough. And it occurred to me I should probably check out the speed boost upgrade. What this guy does is it reduces the amount of time it takes for the router to try and find a space nearby to throw things. It basically speeds up the router. I don't know how it does it, but it kind of does somehow. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the speed boost upgrades right into here. Remember, shift right click to do it. And if we want to double check, we should see that there's a speed boost, no delay when visiting machines. So that should be pretty important for us, and hopefully what'll happen here is we should have a nice setup here. So I've got a bunch of cobblestone and dirt and gravel in this chest, but over here I've got a bunch of stuff ready to go. All I got to do, remember I told you guys last episode that you can disable a router by applying a redstone signal. So I've got a lever here keeping it off, and I'm about to flip it on. Boom, things will start pulling out. Now remember last time we had this many items coming out of the different barrels and stuff and working their way up here, we did run into a little bit of a back stuff problem where things were bouncing backwards, not making it in, and making their way over to that overflow chest. Hopefully now, with 3 routers down here, all colored orange, and the speed boost upgrades, we should start seeing everything fill up nice and quick, and we should not see any bounce back. So basically, if anything makes its way towards this chest and heads down this path, we'll know that we're overloading things. But so far, it looks like they're keeping up. So the speed boost is definitely helping here. We can see it's quickly just dumping items out as fast as it can. And you can see there's even a little bit of a light blink whenever it's depositing items. So we can see things are kind of working here. So that's good. No bounce back really? A little bit. I think we just saw one piece of cobble bounce back, maybe. Overall, though, that's not bad. And remember, this is like an extremely worst case scenario. This is pretty much saying, like, how bad can we get with the amount of items coming in. I don't think even with, like, a really fast quarry, you'll get that much cobble and dirt and gravel all coming at the same time. So I'm going to call this 3 setup of routers and the speed upgrades and the bandwidth upgrades pretty much good to go. Now there is one problem that I want to tell you guys about, and it's something we're going to have to either work around or figure out. Alright, here's the deal. If these things get too much cobblestone, for example, like this much, right? And I'm just going to put this in this chest here to demonstrate. What we're going to wind up seeing happen is the routers will act almost like buffers, right? They're going to hold on to the cobblestone and it won't let anything in. So if the cobblestone barrel fills up, the dirt barrel will then not be able to continue filling because all these guys will be filled up with cobblestone. That's not going to be that big a deal because in the end, I think what I'm going to wind up doing is putting some cobblestone and all that stuff filtered back to the lava anyway, so that when it is overflowing, that won't be too much of a problem. So that's probably what we'll wind up doing. So I think we've got a pretty solid system here. Now I do want to do a few other things just to kind of help this along. Now of course one of the main items that we'll be collecting here is all this stuff. We're going to have a lot of that overflowing. So in order to help alleviate any other issues, we're going to have other routers around the network making things run a little smoother. So let's take a look at some pneumatic tubes and start working our way down here. Cool. Now we should really only need one router, and we should really only need just the bandwidth upgrade. We don't really need the speed upgrade for this. Now this guy we're going to color with a different color down here. I haven't figured out what yet. I should probably go get a couple paintbrushes. Oh, inventory problems already. What am I going to do with you? And we're just going to have to see how things go. If things get a little crazy, we'll find out pretty quick. So I'm already using orange, right? So let's go with, let's see, what color is after orange? Magenta, sure. That'll be a good one to go with. And we should probably go with light blue. And yellow. We shouldn't need much more beyond that. Alright. Cool. Alright, let me get ready here, but basically what's going to happen is I'm going to paint this guy the magenta color, and then I'm going to go downstairs and reroute anything that I want to go in there. Probably what I'm going to do is just have like all the blocks go down the orange path, and then all the mob drops and items and all this stuff on this side of the fence, this left side of the room, can be the magenta color. Cool. Because we won't be getting many of those. So, down here, we want to just change this sorting system. So all the blocks and everything, all this stuff, even the fancy blocks that we've got going on here, we even probably want to throw the clay and a couple other things into the orange slot, but we're not ready to do that just yet. So that's okay. Oh yeah, we've got light blue down here, don't we? Alright, so we probably shouldn't use light blue. I'm going to put that one away. We're going to leave that as is. We'll go ahead and pull out the lime. That works. Okay. So that's okay. Nothing else there that I'm really too concerned about. Here we've got a lot of the mob drop stuff, you can see, and that all kind of going to orange. We're going to change this just to magenta. And I probably need to do a couple more things. Let's see. Anything I'm missing right now? Probably this. And what else do we got? Yeah, I'll just kind of have to dump everything and then find out what's missing. I think that's probably my best bet. I'm pretty sure like zombie flesh is missing and a couple other things. So why don't I make sure that this is all organized properly, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, so I'm back. Done a little bit since last cut the camera off there. I made sure that all the stuff that was important and wanted to go in here was actually in there. I think raw pork chop actually doesn't belong in there anymore, so let's get that out of there because I took raw pork chop out of that line. We'll just keep that somewhere else, so you're done. Alright, we've also made a few other little changes. You can see I've got more chests here. So basically this back row is going to be my overflow chest, if you will. Anything that just doesn't fit is going to wind up here. And it's just going to make their way across the different chests. So you can see like they'll fill up over time. And I'll have to either add whatever's starting to clog up the chests here to the barrel system that I've got set up. Or I can simply just go ahead and leave them in there. And we'll have to see what we come up with. Alright guys, it's time for the wonder of fabricators. Oh, I love these things. Just throw your ingredients in and within moments, you've got everything you need. Barrels, and lots of them. Which is exactly what I need. Lots and lots of barrels. Haha. Alright, so I got what I need to start setting up this side of the room. Now, remember I told you guys we were going to have all like our more expensive stuff over on this side of the room? Yep, that's the plan. So let's see, I want to snag at least one of these to cover up this hole in the wall. And don't let me forget to change the way these things work so that they don't output anywhere. But for now, we're just going to set up a wall full of barrels. Shouldn't be too bad. Come on, come back here, you. I'm trying to avoid that fourth tier, like, you know, 4 blocks tall, but every now and then I might need to sneak up there and take care of that, just because, like, you know, there's one-offs, like I've got a few up there that are high. You know, try and keep stuff that I'm not going to need too often up there, but we'll see what happens. I think for now it's okay. But, you know, every now and then there was just like a couple extra items I needed. Also, make sure not to put an inventory in this corner, because otherwise I think, like, you know, this inventory would then be connected to these inventories. I do eventually plan to have 2 more chests here, and this whole back row will either be overflow or will be chests that are not connected to the whole system, like my red power and buildcraft and all that kind of cool stuff. Alright, so we've got this guy set up. We've got a router down here ready to go. Just like that. And we've got this bandwidth upgrade. Cool. And again, it's inserting into the top sides. The only other thing we need to do before we get this thing totally set up is make sure to paint it the right color. I guess we should go with blue for this side, because a lot of things that are blue are already going down here. So there we go. Nice. Come back here, you marble brick. Okay, so blue items are probably going to be, at the very first, I should start organizing what's going to go in there. So why don't I do that off camera, because that part's going to be a little bit boring. And I'll be back in a minute when I'm ready to, you know, move on. Alright guys, and here we are back at my cow farm, where I am making something to help out with this little build. I think I've got the last of it put together, and I'm about to run everything through as a test. Now remember, the test I'm about to run is kind of a worst case scenario. I'm throwing as much junk in there as possible all at once, and that's probably not how things are going to act in the real world once I have the mining thing turned on. So if we get a little bit of backlog, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I think in the end we'll be pretty much okay. I do need to turn back on on, like the overflow and the lava thing, but just want to throw a speed upgrade into this guy down at the end here. Now you can see the last setup that I did down here actually uses filters, and I'm throwing just a few things, about 18 different items, into that filter setup so that they can all route towards this router right here. So that the filters, you know, we don't have to color things a certain color. Now the last two down here, of course, are for like the, you know, the gems and the metals and stuff. So I think we should be good to turn it on. So what I'm going to do is probably might even want to remove the bandwidth thing from this, but we're going to see. Yeah, let's consider doing that, actually. I'm going to remove bandwidth. Now, this is not going to remove stacks at a time anymore. We might put that back in a second, but let's let this thing pull out a little bit slower because it's not going to be quite so crazy. And with a lever switch, we should be good. It's going to pull pretty quick. It just won't pull stacks at a time. So I'm hoping that'll help with the backlogging of things. You know, maybe won't be such a big deal. There we go. Things are going now. Nice. So we've got a bunch of items thrown through the tubes here. It's going to look really neat. You guys should not be going that path. Oh, I never changed the color for that stuff. Okay. Right, I know what's happening there. Okay. That's actually okay and not terribly uncommon. What happens is the blue color on those things, because they're supposed to be painted blue to get down here. Remember, that comes from the retriever downstairs when they're made, not from the sorting machine. I could probably just throw them into the sorting machine and then we'll know what to do with them. Boy, I picked the right items to not auto stack pull at a time, huh? Should I go ahead and color those? I think I will for now, and then I could always remove them later. I think I had a couple extra spots in the blue category. I do. Excellent. Hey, get back up there. Alright, I'm going up the main way. So that is the plan. So now if we move this over, things should behave a little better. There it goes. Nice. Excellent. And everything should be coming up here as blue. So remember, anything that it doesn't know what to do with is going to get sent to the excess chests down at the back. And anything it does know what to do with, for example, all this stuff, should start magically filling into the rubber and the UU matter. Nice, right? Very cool. Oh yeah, lots of rubber filling in there now. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the bandwidth thing back just to see how it handles it. It should be okay. There we go. Now we're just going to pull stacks at a time. Awesome. And the UU matter made its way up. Excellent. And once this chest is empty, I can start sending other items down. So let's move this guy out of the way once he's done. Good. Just put him up here. This is kind of where I've been putting the chests as I don't need them anymore. Which one's this? Oh, my metals chest. All right. I don't have any way at the moment to handle blocks of iron, but I will in a moment. Let's see. We're going to pick you up and put you right there. And while that's running, I'm going to come over here and borrow this guy. Hello, fabricator. We're about to reverse fabricator our way from iron blocks and stuff into you know, regular old iron. But I'm going to let everything filter through here and make sure it all makes its way up. Oh yeah, see, look, we did hit a bit of a backlog somewhere, but that's okay. Alright, everything's clogged. What did I clog up on? Rubber. Do I really have more than 64 stacks of rubber? Yes, I do. Alright, well, there's your problem. But otherwise, we're doing alright. Remember, way more items than we would typically be sending in at once, especially along the lines of, you know, metals and gems and stuff. No way are we going to have that many items. So we shouldn't really have too much of a problem at this point. Looking good. Alright, I'm going to continue cleaning everything up, and I'll be back in a few. Oh, by the way, I said I wanted to show you guys how this works. Check this out. Block of iron is usable in the following recipe. Probably one of these. Shapeless crafting, I would think. Alright, how about this? What I'm just going to do is put it in there like that, and boom. Automatically does that. Awesome. And of course, this guy is pulling it out because the fabricator is an adjacent inventory. Not bad, right? Totally cool. And then I can do the same thing with the block of lead. We can do something like this. Oh, you know what? It pulled out the block of lead, didn't it? Probably. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Alright guys, so now I have pretty much finalized this last setup. I've painted the end of this line here black because that's the color that things are made when they don't have anywhere to go. And now I'm picking up the last of these items here. You can see we've got a bunch of red power 2 gems and all kinds of nickelite and stuff. And I think the last few chests, oh yeah, I have to empty this one out too. That one's going to go down, and then the last couple here are all just like those miscellaneous like mod items. Like no sense in having a barrel full of like pipes and stuff, right? I've only got like a handful of them. So yeah, that would be kind of silly. But definitely, you know, oh, look at that. See? Good. The black items are going down that path if needed, because, you know, that's how that's going to work out. Awesome. And they might get backlogged a little bit, but it's okay. They'll eventually clear themselves out down there once they get into that piping network. And otherwise, all the blue stuff is going to filter out down here. And we shouldn't have much by way of overflow anymore because I painted this thing black. So what happened is, like, you know, before the blue items, you know, they might bounce backwards and they might bounce all the way down, but eventually they'll make their way back up and come down this way. So they'll never backflow into that. That was more of just like a temporary kind of solution here. So let's just make sure, yeah, nice and cleaned out. Everything looks good. So no more overflowing towards the back here. Now what might happen is they'll bounce back and overflow and clog up the sorting machine, but that's okay. That's what we want to have happen, right? Like if the sorting machine clogs, then we know, like, you know, nothing will be able to move anymore. Cool. One more thing I wanted to do was this one, right? Yeah, that should be good. Awesome. I like it. Alright guys, I am cleaning up because I think I've finally finished this new storage system. A little different, like I said, than any of the ones I've made in the past. It's kind of nice because I've got a little bit more room to put things up top there if necessary. But up here it's kind of pretty much filled up. I do have like a big mess on the floor still, but that's because I kind of want to let things run, let the quarry run for a little bit actually, just to see how things go. Now remember I told you that one of the things I want to do is automatically just not even care about what I collect, right, with certain blocks, like cobblestone, for example. I don't care about cobblestone, so I just want to instantly void it. So I'm just going to go ahead and place down, oh yeah, I forgot, I came upstairs to get something and I didn't get it. Okay, so now I'm getting it. I want to get, I have basically, these are all overflow chests, so the 5 here in the bottom will all be overflow of items. Okay, so that's why it's got, like, you know, the separator there is at the black color. Okay, and then up top are my mod item chests. So I've got, like, you know, the Zycraft stuff up there. I've got some magical style items in here. I've got, you know, red power stuff. I've got, you know, railcraft stuff in here. A bunch of cool things. There we go. There's the pneumatic tubes I wanted. That's what I came up here for. And then over here, industrial craft and buildcraft, and finally some forestry goodies. Cool. So that's the way it's going to be laid out. And down here, I can go ahead and hook up another pneumatic tube, and purple is the color I have chosen for just burn it. I don't care. Just get rid of it. See you later. Adios. Get rid of it. That's the plan, at least. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just change this sorting machine to have purple get just gotten rid of. I kind of want to hang on to sand. Probably could hang on to basalt cobblestone if I wanted to, and just switch this guy up to purple, which is around here somewhere. That's it. That matches to that. Nice. So that's the plan, right? So anything that comes in that's like, you know, one of those nicer blocks, that's going to get sorted properly, right? I even want to keep sand because, you know, sand is pretty, you know, tough to come by at the moment. I have to, like, keep making it with the minium stone. But otherwise, everything else should work pretty well. And here's the ultimate test. We're going to let our automatic frame machine start running. And what we should see is a bunch of items start to flow in here. Now, remember, cobblestone is going to instantly get turned into the, you know, the mess of, you know, getting destroyed. But, oh look, there goes some cool stuff. Nice. It's already making its way upstairs. Awesome. So the most of the junk is just going to get rid of, right? But here we go, coming upstairs. We've got a bunch of things just getting sorted appropriately. Awesome. So you can see they're all making their way towards their routers. Now remember I told you guys that the routers would not be overloaded now that I've done, you know, taking care of my system. So yeah. Oh, and I remembered monazite ore. I didn't have that anywhere. So, oh, cool. Getting an emerald. Nice. So yeah, you might get a couple things here and there, but nowhere near the overflow that I had anywhere in the past. Getting a couple of the Zycraft stuff, that's pretty nice. I like it. Looking good. Zycraft blocks. Oh yeah, they're painted blue. Okay, that's no big deal. They were painted blue because they get pulled out by the retriever as well down there. Dude, look at this. It's awesome. Everything's coming up, going where it's supposed to go. I like it. Now, hopefully crystals don't become a problem for me. I don't think they will, but we'll find out. Because sometimes they have those weird, extra things. But I think that bug was fixed before I made the new Mistcraft world where all my mining is taking place. And with that, guys, we've got a nice automatic sorting machine. Everything is going where it's supposed to go. And I haven't even seen one thing make its way into the I don't know what to do with this stuff chest yet. So I think that's a pretty successful sorting machine if I've let my mining quarry run that long without anything going in there. Now I'm just going to let it keep going for a bit. Okay, going to cover up the floor here, and then we'll see how awesome this room looks. Because it should be pretty solid. Everything's well hidden under the floor, because that's the way I like it. Some people do like seeing items flow around. And it is cool to see, trust me, sometimes it definitely is. Like, I do like to see it at times, that's why sometimes I'll use glass or whatever to cover it up. But other times it's just nice when the floor is just totally clean, like this. Cool, right? Alright. And with that, guys, we've got a storage room. Nice. How do you like it? I'm pretty pleased with it. It came out well. Everything should be sorting properly. And again, it's this center chest that everything will dump into if it needs to be. I have to figure out where I want to store. I could probably just store these guys in with Zycraft blocks. Why not? And I still have a little bit of lead and, blocks of metal that I have to clean up. So I'm going to go take care of that manually downstairs right now. But the factorization items go with the red power stuff, I believe. So routers and barrels and the upgrades can go in there. And the ender chest, I consider that somewhat magical. So that can go in there. And I think otherwise, we're pretty good. Oh, yeah. Put you away. And heck, I can even do this. Yep, that'll work. So that item I accidentally sorted, but that's okay. It'll just go where it's meant to go. Oh, look, there we go. We just got a mining section, a little bit of quarrying. Awesome. What else do we got? All kinds of good stuff. Oh, I have to put my paintbrush away. I'm just cleaning up my inventory. So yeah, new sorting system, quite happy with it. Got to upgrade this chest real quick. Not a problem. Now remember, guys, with barrels, you can left click to pull a full stack and shift left click to pull out individual pieces. So I can get just 8 of these guys and 8 iron. And if you right click, it'll tell you what item's inside. So just like that, tin ingots, ferrous ingots, silver ingots. Right click stores stuff, but if the item that you're right clicking with can't be stored because it doesn't match what's inside the barrel already, it'll tell you what is inside the barrel. So that is neat. So there we go. Gonna upgrade this chest because it's full. Oh, cool. And this one too could probably use an upgrade. Yeah, that was the one I meant to upgrade, but they were both pretty full. So you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Why not? Grab a stack. How many do I got to do over there? 3? Just do them all. Gonna need to eventually, right? And to put everything away again, just do this. Haha. So cool. Back downstairs to watch everything flow around. And this is the chest that I put my paintbrush in. And otherwise, everything's just going where it belongs. Look at that. It's a sight to behold. Now, last chance to find out if anything has made its way into this center chest here. Because I remember... Oh, lead ingots. Oh, because they were the wrong kind of lead, I bet. Yes, they are the wrong kind of lead. And you know what? While I'm here, I also have the wrong kind of tin. So why don't I show you guys how to deal with that, because that's a nuisance. There's many types of lead in the ore dictionary. In fact, if we take a look, we'll see that there's 1, 2 lead ingots, but that's the one that's, not even that copper. If we're looking at copper, that's even more common. There's like 3 or 4 different types of copper. And Forge has what's called the ore dictionary, and it basically says, like, you know, all types of copper are copper. If you're copper, you're copper. I don't care if you're copper from Red Power 2, or if you're copper from Industrial Craft. I don't care if you're lead from thermal expansion, or if you're lead from factorization. It all works together, but they're still different items because, you know, factorization has lead, and you might not have thermal expansion installed with factorization, and if factorization wants to have a lead ingot, more power to them. However, it can sometimes be a nuisance, especially in a barrel sorting system where, you know, I don't want, you know, 4 different barrels for copper. That would be a nuisance. Now, because I'm using thermal expansion machines, I'm getting thermal expansion copper. So that's the reason that's happening, because when it, you know, grinds it down, it gives you, you know, the thermal expansion form of the dust. Okay, so let's make an item here that'll help us switch one type of lead into another. It is called this guy, the Forge Lexicon. I'm going to need a cyan piece of wool, gold, iron, and a book. Okay, I should be able to pull most of that off. I believe I've got some books in here, and I might even have a piece of wool somewhere in these miscellaneous junk chests. I've got, oh, that's light blue. That's close. But I need wool. I could really do with a wool farm pretty much at some point soon. Let me track down some wool here. Oh, you know what I have to do? I know what I have to do. And let me go show you guys a little trick with wool. If you put it with a minium stone, it'll transmute into the next color. So remember, it's cyan that I need. Doesn't matter where you put it in the crafting table. It'll eventually get there. There it is, cyan wool. And then the gold and iron. And this is the Forge Lexicon. It really doesn't do anything beneficial. It's not going to give you more of an item. It's not going to give you better stuff, but it will allow you to transmute your ores from one type to another. Now you can shift right click to go ahead and you know, open up the interface here. That's a nifty interface. What you can do is you can come over and grab all that lead that we had. So for example, we had all this lead in here, and we even have some tin. Okay, shift right click to open up the interface and put the lead in the left slot. And up here, it'll show you the lead ingot types that are available. So we've got lead ingot here. This is the one that matches. So you can see it's not letting you transmute into this type, no conversion necessary. But this one, it allows you to transmute. And click. Nice. And you can shift click in here and it'll remember the last choice that you made. So it's real easy. Not bad, right? So it's a nice, quick, and easy way to transmute from one type of lead to another. Again, like I said, you're not getting any more lead out of this. It just is nice for the, you know, barrel storage system. So definitely hang on to a Forge Lexicon if you can. There's also a block version. I'll show you guys how to make that just because it's pretty neat. I like the block version, and there's really no reason to carry it around. Now for tin, we're going to go ahead and switch it up to this tin, I think. We're about to find out if that's the right kind. I think it is. Yeah, it is. If the tin goes in, then it's the right kind. That was an unintentional rhyme. I apologize. All right, there we go. Now we're good to go. And no more excess junk in here. Now, if only I could Forge Lexicon the quartz crystals, because those things are annoying. And there's only one thing that's annoying when you have one of these systems of this stuff, is that anytime you pick an item up, it goes straight into your miner's backpack. So I'm probably going to put this guy away. It is a forester item after all, so I'm going to go ahead and put both the miner's backpack and the digger's backpack away. Might come back and get the digger's backpack at some point. But yeah, anytime you go to pick up something, it always lands right in that backpack. And it's like, oh. Now, of course, you could lock it if you want, but, you know, I'm not mining all that much anymore. So I don't think there's really a need for that. And I decided just to be nice and balanced, I made all the bottom chests diamond chests. Great. Now we've got more income coming in, I presume. This ender chest is just kind of hanging out here. Things look a little quiet, but things are still floating around, so that's okay. Definitely got some stuff. There it goes. Nice. Another system came through. So it looks like the tunnel bore thing, the mining quarry that I built, is actually running pretty well. I was kind of concerned, like maybe at some point it would break down or have an issue, but honestly, so far since I built it, it's been pretty solid. You know, knock on wood. Let's go take a peek real quick and just see how much of a terrain mess it's made. There we go. Cool. Hey, look, there's a little thing over there, one of the totems. Oh, good, we just cleared out them, and it's moving. Great. Awesome. That is so cool. And remember, you can make this a little bit faster if you wanted to have more tesseracts or more of the, if you had redstone energy cells here, that would also be a good thing to do. You could probably have like 3 or 4 of them hooked up and just have them powered by a tesseract or two. And that would also be a way to do this. But yeah. Remember, guys, I said there was like a couple different ways people were doing them. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos and pictures on Reddit and YouTube of people who kind of took this idea and ran with it. So I'm pretty happy with it. And we're doing a nice job clearing through the terrain down there. That's neat. Look at that giant mess we're making. And one more thing to check in on before we wrap up the episode. I want to stop by and just see my bees. Remember at the end of the last episode, I told you guys we'd, have a little thing set up over here. Yeah, so we've got bees. They're all nocturnal. They're all at the highest productivity rate, and we should be pretty close. What's up, spider? You're annoying. I hate you. Yep, evil. Pretty close to the amount of honey I need to make an alveary, which I'll definitely want to at some point. Oh yeah, we have way more than enough honey now, so that's good. And then one other thing I want to take a peek at over here. Running over to the Hall of Enchants. Just curious if I've gotten... Ooh, I did. I got a new type of book. What type of book is this? Flame 1, huh? What is that? I don't even know. Fortune 1's on the bottom, so I have to just upgrade this sign real quick. Flame 1. Fortune 1. What is the Flame enchant? Is that like a Thaumcraft enchant? Because I know, like, the Fire one is... I don't know. Let's see. Flame enchants. Is there flame? Haste, repair, potency, frugal, charging, treasure. Nope. Alright, I have to figure out what the flame enchant does. Oh, that's the bow one. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, that's the bow. I was thinking like fire aspect for the sword. Flame is the bow enchant. Cool. So we should have a bunch of enchants here, and believe it or not, there's actually a really good reason that I'm building up all these enchants. Maybe not quite as many as I have, because I have a silly amount at this point. But I wanted to make sure I had a good selection, because there's something I've planned coming up pretty soon, probably in the next episode or two. But for now, we've got to wrap up episode 51. And like I said, I promised you guys a world download, and it's definitely coming. So as soon as I finish this recording, I'm going to go put that world download together. What I am going to do, because the world download would be very large if I didn't do this, so I'm going to go through and delete pretty much all the Mistcraft ages that I've used just to explore and run around. So like if we look inside here, we've got like, all these ages and stuff. I don't even know what half of them are. But I'm going to delete the worlds from the download. So if you do travel to any of these books, keep in mind that they'll be like fresh brand new worlds. Okay? Not a big deal. But wanted to do that mostly because it will save you guys massive amounts of downloads. But mining age 4 will definitely come through. So if we went here and checked the TPS here, we'll see that we have a good amount. So don't worry, the mining age that has all this cool stuff in it will come through with the download, just the other ones won't. And with that, guys, I am very sorry to say, but it's time to wrap up. So I hope you enjoyed episode 51. Again, apologies that the world download is one episode late, but I think it was, in the end, a good idea. I didn't want to leave you guys with a half-finished sorting room. Now you're able to play around, enjoy this world, and have a good time using this nifty new sorting room and tons of income from the mining well quarry frame machine thingy that we built. All right, guys, Direwolf20 signing off. Catch you next time in episode 52. Take it easy.